Crumbl cookies have been dragged into a huge mess in Sydney, Australia. A pop-up shop has been selling stale cookies that are several days old, and Australians are wondering if this is what the craze is all about. Now they've deleted their TikTok videos and promotional materials on social media. How will Crumbl erase that bad taste? And who owns that pop-up shop? It's amazing how easy it is to get people to wait in line to buy stale cookies you shouldn't even feed a street dog with. Yet many celebrities and influencers in Australia attended the sellout in North Bondi on the 29th of September. Many of them even advertised for the pop-up event to their followers. The result? A massive turnout at North Bondi. The TikTok account was called Crumbl Sydney, with carefully edited professional snapshots posted by the account, which led many to believe this was from Crumbl, part of its franchise or a new extension from its consumer base in the United States. After all, Crumbl is one of the largest cookie makers in the world. Founded in 2017 by Sawyer Hemsley and Jason McGowan, Crumbl cookies have become one of the fastest-growing dessert franchises in the U.S. In order to develop the recipe for chocolate chip cookies, computer entrepreneur McGowan and his cousin Hemsley experimented with the first store in Logan, Utah. This focus on quality and attention to detail paid off, as the company soon became well-known and rapidly expanded across the nation. Crumbl's distinctive business strategy is hugely responsible for its success. In addition to their iconic milk chocolate chip cookie, which is always available, they set themselves apart by providing a changing weekly menu so consumers can anticipate a new type of cookie every week. Customers could not have enough of Crumbl cookies. Every week, the company releases a new flavor, ranging from traditional sugar cookies to more daring choices like key lime pie or cinnamon fry bread. Customers now find this variety to be quite appealing since it makes the experience interesting and novel. Crumbl's open kitchen design is another innovation that made it stand out. Customers may observe every step of the cookie making process, from mixing the dough to baking, icing, and packaging when they enter a Crumbl location. People now feel more engaged and trusting of the goods they are purchasing as a result of this transparency.
Looky, 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 it's Crumbl cookie, Crumbl cookie for life, Crumbl cookie.
Furthermore, Crumbl has expanded its customer base by leveraging social media. They have gained millions of followers thanks to their Instagram and TikTok profiles, where they present their cookies and new varieties in visually appealing and inventive ways. Younger consumers who are interested in food trends and viral challenges make up their target market, and this approach fits with them. Franchises make up the majority of Crumbl's operations, and each one is subject to stringent rules pertaining to customer satisfaction and product quality. The business has grown quickly, thanks in part to this concept. Currently, Crumbl has over 800 locations in the U.S., and that number is continually rising, having opened their first store in 2017. The business has had remarkable financial success in such a short time. Crumbl Cookies is projected to be valued at over $1 billion in 2023, not only for the success of their cookies, but also for their strong corporate structure and astute marketing. Crumbl's remarkable sales volume is one of its most notable stats. The company sells almost 1 million cookies every day across all of its locations. This number shows how far the company has grown in building a strong and trusted brand that has led to incredible success through enormous demand for Crumbl cookies. The business swiftly adjusted to ensure that consumers could still indulge in cookies while adhering to social distance rules. This degree of adaptability and client service has only strengthened Crumbl's position in the industry. Crumbl's main focus is still cookies. They also sell ice cream and other products. According to their growth strategy, Crumbl is a brand that will endure rather than just being a passing fad. Crumbl is well positioned to maintain its position as a leading player in the dessert sector for many years to come, with ambitions for further growth and innovation. Delivery and curbside collection are available at many stores, which proved especially important during the COVID-19 pandemic. So you won't blame Australians for thinking Crumbl finally tapped into the market on the other side of the world. And guess what? The pop-up shop sold Crumbl cookies at $17 or $50. Jason and Sawyer spent years appealing to a consumer that values quality and ease. Some silly people down in Sydney seek to make money off the brand at the cost of Crumbl. Yeah, Crumbl Sydney was a catfish.
Just telling us he got a bit sick.
Well, it's the cookie controversy that's left Sydney-siders with a bad taste in their mouths. Hundreds lining up over the weekend to grab the viral Crumbl cookies at a pop-up store in Bondi, only to realise things weren't as they seemed.
Come with me to the Crumbl cookie pop-up in Sydney at Bondi, and it wasn't endorsed by Crumbl. We got a jump scare because the girl who was taking our orders showed us the menu, and it was $17.50 per cookie.
I spent $150 on 10 cookies.
This is actually very bad. Biggest scam. Never again.
But this had people outraged, and rightly so. It turns out the pop-up wasn't even endorsed by Crumbl, with the organisers instead flying to the US, purchasing hundreds of cookies and importing them back to Australia, where they sold them for $17.50 each.
Wow.
I mean.
So elaborate.
For more, let's bring in cookie victim Hamzy Taha and lawyer Jahan Kalanta. Nice to see you guys. For you, on this particular day, what happened?
So I'm in Bondi, I'm working at my brother's cafe, and I'm hearing customers coming in and speaking about Crumbl being in Sydney.
Have you heard of Crumbl before?
Crumbl's on my TikTok feed, and it's been everywhere on the internet, so I was so excited. Searched it up on Instagram and thought, it's in North Bondi, we've got to go check it out. I was one of the lucky ones that didn't wait 2 hours in the line, probably about half an hour to 20 minutes. But seeing $17 for one cookie, and it was behind this petrol station in this little corner alleyway shop. Looked dodgy, and look, it didn't taste good in the end as well. Felt a bit sick after.
What did it taste like?
It was very sugary, very sweet. We wouldn't say that's the Crumbl in America, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, not again, Crumbl Sydney.
All right, so they've since put a statement out trying to justify the price they use for the company name and selling their product. This is the statement here. What do you make of this statement from a legal perspective?
I think they're in really serious legal trouble. I mean, this is a slam dunk case if Crumbl chooses to take it further. It's and the fact that they've wiped all of their social media presence doesn't help them any further. I think they're in pretty hot water.
We discovered that the pop-up was actually run by admirers of Crumbl cookies who had flown to the US, purchased 840 cookies, and resold them in Sydney without Crumbl's consent. That's right, the whole sham is giving 3 kids in a trench coat vibes. There was a great deal of anger as a result, with fans accusing the event's organizers of fraud and calling it misleading. Although some of the TikTok videos made explicit claims that they had no affiliation with Crumbl, just a small percentage of the 41 posts disclosed this information, leaving many people in the dark. The price of $17.50 per cookie annoyed a lot of people, especially due to the fact that it just wasn't good enough to command such a fee. I mean, how could it be? The claims are that the cookies had been shipped across continents to be fed to unsuspecting Australians. The cookies had been in storage for somewhere between 4 to 7 days before the pop-up shop launch. The organizers included logistical expenses, such as import taxes, customs fees, and last-minute flights, to inflate the pricing. Now that makes sense. They maintained that their objective was to introduce Crumbl's renowned cookies to Australian fans rather than make money. But it seems that they've only succeeded in scamming Australians and tarnishing the Crumbl brand. Influencers and other guests questioned the cookies' quality, saying they fell short of expectations, which further hurt the pop-up's standing. If this had continued, no one would be popping up to Crumbl in Australia again. The cookies' storage for days before the event raised questions over their freshness and food safety. Since it might be against Australian consumer law to sell imported cookies without Crumbl's consent, some even conjectured about potential legal repercussions. Due to the cookies' prolonged storage before the sellout, there may have been possible violations of food regulations. The event planners acknowledged that they had not gotten Crumbl's consent, and they based their legal argument on the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission's parallel import standards. They justified their behavior by stating that they conformed with food safety laws and appropriate storage procedures. Is that true? The Crumbl Cookies pop-up shop in Sydney faced multiple concerns about potential food violations, primarily related to food safety, storage practices, and consumer misrepresentation. These concerns stemmed from the fact that the cookies were purchased from a Crumbl store in the US, flown to Australia, and stored for several days before being resold at the event. There were questions about whether the cookies had been kept at safe temperatures during transportation and storage, as well as how this might have impacted their freshness. The pop-up organizers admitted that the cookies had been refrigerated for a few days, which could raise issues about compliance with food safety guidelines for handling perishable goods. Since the pop-up was not affiliated with Crumbl Cookies, this raised concerns about misleading consumers, as many attendees believed the event was an official Crumbl store launch. Under Australian consumer law, businesses are prohibited from engaging in conduct that is misleading or deceptive. The event's promotional materials did not clearly disclose that it was not connected to Crumbl, leading to confusion among consumers who thought they were purchasing cookies directly from the brand. How about food regulation compliance? Australian food laws have strict guidelines regarding the handling, storage, and sale of imported food products. If the cookies were not stored correctly during their journey from the US or while awaiting the event, it could have posed a risk to consumer health. Local authorities, including NS Fair Trading, ensure that Australian businesses must not mislead consumers with their actions and must also comply with local food safety regulations. However, while concerns were raised, no formal legal action was reported at the time, and Crumbl itself did not pursue the matter. The organizers decided to cancel their plans for other pop-ups in other Australian cities in reaction to the negative feedback. Do you think Crumbl should sue the group, or should they just let it slide since they could be well-meaning fans? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing videos. Stay tuned.